What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Talking Bull podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We're here to bring you your weekly nerd news rundown, as well as our main topic for the week. This week's topic, we're going to be talking all things Power Rangers. Why? I don't know. We thought it was a good idea earlier in the week. Shut up. You don't know. I'd like to thank everyone for watching last week's video. You guys are watching more of the videos for longer periods of time, as well as just tuning in more regularly. So I'd like to thank you all. Please remember to comment, follow, like, subscribe. That is our mantra. And I put it everywhere I can when I remember to post things.
Yep.
Yay. All right, so let's jump right on into the news now that I got our rigmarole out of the way. We have a lot of big news this week, kind of all across the board, really. So I think we'll just start with a bunch of just random little stuff. They announced John Wick is getting another sequel.
When does it come out?
Chapter 3 comes out May 19th, 2019.
2019.
So,
I still haven't watched the first two. Have you watched them?
Yeah, I've watched the first two.
Yeah. Are they good?
Yeah, they're really good.
Gun Fu. What do you think of Gun Fu?
It is very gung fu, but it's really good.
It's good Gun Fu?
Yeah, it's well done. It's well acted. It's well paced. It's go, 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 but like to a well-paced story and action sequences. Each sequence leads into the next sequence without a lot of bullshit filler in between it. So it's
just like a cheap action film type of thing. Like is there a story then?
Yeah, there's a story. Yeah,
and it's a good story.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good
told through Gun Fu.
Basically, yeah. It's cheap, but it also looks really good.
Yeah. But it's just like, is there like plot and purpose?
Yes, there's
minimal.
A reason. Kind of and kind of not really. Like it's a big thing, but it's like a very basic thing.
Yeah,
that happens to him and why he goes back to doing what he does. But it's really well done the way they do it. So, but I enjoyed it. Both movies are really good. When I saw the first one, I was like, okay, this is cool. How do you make a sequel off of this? And then they did, and I was like, all right, makes sense.
So you had watched the first one when the first one?
No,
before the second one came
I watched
out.
both of them last week.
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
You never watched the first one.
I was like, this
is
really stupid, Keanu. I'm kind of done with what you're doing. And then they announced the sequel, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll check these out. And then I finally watched both last week, and they were pretty solid. So I would highly recommend people watch them. I think you'll enjoy them. I would say you should watch them. Another little thing, Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted out a picture or Instagrammed it. I don't know what the hell she did. Halloween's coming back sometime next year. There was no official date on it. It is a sequel to Halloween 2. So it will ignore everything else, which I think is good.
Wasn't she in?
She was in Resurrection with, I believe, Joshua something.
She was in one in like the 90s or 2000s.
Yeah, no, H2O.
H2O,
yeah,
that's it,
with
yeah.
her kid and stuff like that. Yeah, it'll
but it
all
ignores
of
that too.
Yeah.
So it ignores the one sequel that she did do too.
Yeah, because she dies in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, spoilers.
Okay.
So yeah, that's. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
See, like that type of shit is weird.
But
I'm not for that.
Is there like? There's kind of a market now with a resurgence like of this stuff being kind of big.
The idea of redoing shit is just mind-numbing. But then, like, if you...
That's what you got, right?
But, like, then just redo Halloween. Don't put her in it if you've already killed her off.
Yeah, but they've already managed to botch 2 reboots of Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
So you need her name
and Halloween.
in it?
They already redid Halloween.
So you just need her name in it?
I guess, yeah.
Like, that's just, like...
Well, the first Halloween reboot was the one with Rob Zombie was good, and then the sequel sucked, and then they kind of ignored it for the last, like, I want to say 10 years. So
it just is. It's a weird thing that, like, so they're only making it because she agreed to make it.
If not, they probably would have just rebooted again. Yeah.
But they are rebooting it.
Well, it's a what the hell do they call these things? Resequels.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but that too. Bullshit. That too. Patty Jenkins is officially on to direct Wonder Woman sequel, which was pretty much
guaranteed
what we expected.
Her big thing in that story was that she wanted to get enough money.
Yeah,
so she's getting
good for her.
She's getting in one of the articles I read, it said what she was getting. She's getting the same that I believe Zach got for Batman v Superman, which was $9 million.
Yeah.
Right there, $9 million range, 7 to 9 million.
Yeah.
which is like the same that Zach got for her thing.
Yeah, as well as the back end deal, which she
Yeah, she gets her thing back end deals
which is,
or whatever.
which is standard. Yeah, she only made $1 million off the first one, so to go like, she's making bank off this next one, which is good because like.
But you know what? Sometimes that's the idea. Is like we're not going to pay you $9 million for that first one when we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You often get bigger paychecks in the sequels.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, oh, she's fighting to get paid like a man. No, she's fighting to get paid like a sequel.
I agree
like,
with. I see.
It's
both.
a little of both.
It's a little of both.
It's a little of both.
Yeah, if Snyder had directed the first Wonder Woman, they would have given him $9 million.
Yeah, but he had already
because he already proved
but he had already
yeah.
done Man of Steel and Batman v Superman,
but,
right? Like,
but if she had done more films,
Exactly.
they probably would have stiffed her anyways.
Possibly, yeah.
Because that's what they do. So that's good. And then there's like several writers attached to it, and who's doing what, and just changing.
They say that it might be in the Cold War. Have you read that? Or like Cold War to
or the 80s. Yeah.
Which is Cold War.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or
why I thought earlier.
Or I heard. Yeah, I heard Cold War, 80s, 70s, 80s, and I'm like, I guess.
Well, if they're jumping from one superpower to the next, I could see why they would do the Cold War, right? You did your World War II. Now
so all her like, and then like, let's say they do a third one, like pretty standard. She'll probably get her trilogy. So like, but all three of them would have been set before.
I have a feeling the next one, 3, will be set either like concurrently with the films or like ahead of it slightly. Yeah. I don't think they'll go back beforehand.
To like the Iraq War or whatever, like.
Yeah, basically, like the first one was all set up, and then the second one, they kind of move her along and want to show her like in a different time period, adjusting to the world. Because when we see her in the new one, she's completely adjusted to the world. So I assume the next third one will take place with everything else. Which would make sense. You don't want to have another one set beforehand.
No.
Like Marvel's doing with Captain Marvel. Setting it before everyone else, which makes no sense.
Which is
blah,
weird.
blah, blah. Yeah,
set in the 90s or whatever they said.
It's really stupid, especially because they herald like Cap's the first Avenger, and then like nothing happened until Iron Man. But now there's all of a sudden this secret one that's not here. So this one takes place in space.
Is that what it is?
It's got to be, because if not, why would no one else know about this girl?
Yeah, on Earth.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is in space. Does she deal in space?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's a space traveler.
She's very space traveled.
Who gives a fuck?
I could care less about Captain Marvel, and not because it's a woman, because I hate Captain Marvel. Venom was delayed again till the end of October. They expect to film then.
There's a reason why it was pushed back.
Expect more news that it'll be delayed again. I just think this movie's gonna constantly get pushed back.
There's a reason why it was pushed back, though. I forget what it said.
I'm looking.
I thought they gave a reason. Because it was supposed to start early October. It's only being pushed back a few weeks.
Yeah, but it was already pushed back. It's gonna keep getting pushed back. I don't see it going anywhere at this point. I just realized that video was playing.
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I kind of heard it, but whatever. Yeah, it's slated for.
It's gonna start production at the end of
5th,
October
18,
and come out next year, October.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see it when it happens. I have no faith in this movie because it's a standalone Venom film, not tied to Spider-Man. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man. Like it just, and then you're gonna have 2 Spider-Mans.
They've never really cleared it up.
I know, because they're idiots.
There's a lot of shit going on about not clearing stuff up and being
with
concise.
both publishers.
I was reading something the other day about the whole stuff that we've been talking about, like Warner Brothers not saying anything, and someone brought up what I was reading brought up this point of like one of the reasons that the executives or people at Warner Bros. Aren't making confirmed promises or getting ahead of everything that's being reported and just letting shit whatever is said about Warner Brothers, let it say.
Yeah.
The merger. They don't want to talk about anything because of their thing with AT&T until it goes through.
Oh, the Warner Brothers deal with AT&T. Oh, because it could drastically shift everyone.
Shift the idea of like, oh, so you're making all these, you're not making these, you're making this, you're doing this, you're buying this, you're selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And until that stuff is settled, they don't want to say anything because it offsets maybe like the cost and the value of Warner Brother. You know what I mean? Like however that shit fucking works. Like the whole idea you see in movies where shit leaks before a merger and then like the merger falls through because it changes the buying aspect of it, or the price
drops
or whatever
because,
it is.
Like it turns out they have $85 million in debt. They're not telling
or some shit like that. So I was like, and I had kind of forgot about that was even a thing.
When I was looking up something and mentioned that it's pending based on approval from
the government,
whatever governing board. I forget the name of is it the FTC?
I don't remember.
Federal Trade Commission.
Maybe.
I think yeah.
But I had forgotten about it. But then I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
That they're just like let the stories run rampant, almost like don't confirm, deny, spec anything.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Keep vague answers, like.
But I'd give them that if they didn't always have done it. I get that. That makes sense in the long run about it. But we'll see. Hellboy, there's an update. Loss and Hawaii Five-O's actor Daniel Day Kim. Has he been confirmed? I haven't.
I think he is.
Pretty much
confirmed. Yeah,
he's taking over the role that Ed Scarlin left that we reported on last week, which is good.
Yep.
They found an actor who wants to do it. He's a well-known enough actor, I guess, that they were like, "Hey, we'll put you in the movie."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a white dude, so win-win for everyone.
Yep. He's a cool guy.
Yeah,
I liked him. He was awesome on 5-0.
Yeah, he was awesome in Lost. He's awesome in Hawaii 5-0. I've seen him in a couple other things too. He was pretty cool. The Titans villain for the TV series, it's gonna hark back to a '90s issue of Young Justice, based on what they're looking for in terms of casting.
It could be Alkalite.
Yeah, that's where I was going down here. Alkalite is a blue-skinned horned demon who boasts a wide array of mystical powers, but that turns out it's all bullshit, which I thought was pretty cool for the show. And it turns out he could be trying to steal Raven to get to Trigon, which is her father, a massive demon from blah 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 comics. So yeah, that's why Nightwing brings his team together to go save this and stop this guy who they think is a big real threat.
Yeah.
Which he kind of is and isn't at the same time. So I'm kind of for that. It sounds like a good plot device.
Yeah. It's always they mention it here about Young Justice and Teen Titans. Like it was the same concept there.
Yeah.
Where they go after Raven. If I'm not mistaken, Raven's not in Young Justice, is she?
No, but they're mentioning the Young comic.
The comic series, but I mean the show. She's not in that, is she?
No, she's not in Young Justice. She might be in this season, but she wasn't in the first two. So, but that's cool. Sounds like a good thing. Everyone's always trying to go after Raven because her dad is a powerful demon, which makes sense. And then we also have Netflix does not regret spending $6 billion on new content, which we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just how much money they're bleeding through. So they're thinking that spending all this money and in the long term will get them an estimated 104 million new subscribers worldwide, which I guess that would help offset your budget of spending almost $10 billion on products.
Not new subscribers, just a total of 104 million subscribers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Has helped get spending all this money has helped get Netflix to an estimated 104 million subscribers worldwide.
Well, that should help offset your cost either way a little bit.
It should, but it still seems like it's just like I said yesterday. Is like they spend a lot and expect us and ask very little of us.
Yeah,
well,
now
it's
they don't
10,
have
12
to worry
bucks
about
a month,
paying
right?
licenses to Marvel and Disney.
Yeah, because
so that should help them offset some cost.
But still, it's just it's that idea is like they don't ask a lot from us. It's what 10, 12 bucks a month. Different places average, and they spend like. Because that's at the beginning of the article, it said that $6 million on top of the $4 million that they've already spent. Yeah. So that's like, that's almost $11 billion, and you ask me for $10 a month.
Yeah,
like
pretty solid, guys. And it says here, like, the guy they're talking to, their CFO, David Wells, he says in the interview that they've been very disciplined how much they spend on stuff despite the debt, and they've walked away from a few things. And I'm like, what the hell could you possibly have walked away from that, like, shows that other people drop, you pick up and become massive successes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Stranger Things was dropped by almost every major network.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I bet you they're just shooting themselves in the foot with that.
It wouldn't have worked on network though. Like you look at it now and you're like, Stranger Things, it belongs on Netflix or like an Amazon type of thing.
But it would have worked on, let's say, HBO or Showcase or AMC or any of those shows that do those types of serialized shows, like Game of Thrones or Ballers or
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Anything that's like 12 episodes long and they get to the point. Stranger Things would have worked on that.
Yeah,
the fact that they dropped it, Netflix is like, we'll take it, whatever.
Huge. Such a good show. Comes out next month, second season.
And then he goes on to say they're looking to improve mobile devices, but their main focus right now is big screen experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never had a problem using Netflix on my phone or a tablet or anything like that. It's
I like
really
the download
solid
feature.
Yeah, the download feature for their shows that you can download and watch it later is
awesome.
Pretty cool.
Like, that's cool.
My other
so
thing
you're
is,
not always streaming everything.
I hate the way the layout is on mobile devices. It's different than how it looks on
It works
the
best
thing.
on the Sony. 100%.
Oh, on the
So,
PlayStation,
it
looks fantastic. On mobile, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work on mobile.
It's
doesn't
too
work
chaotic.
It doesn't work well on Roku.
No.
It doesn't work well on even like a tablet, which is similar to the phone device.
Yeah.
It doesn't work well on. I don't like it online.
Oh, their actual
The
page?
web page,
Yeah,
like
no, I don't
going
like it either.
going online either.
it's
I'm not
so
a big
spread
fan of
all
that.
over the
Yeah,
place.
not a big fan of that.
And then it'll list things that you can't watch, but it'll give you references to like, hey, this is similar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then why are you listing it on your page?
Yeah. It works best on the Sony.
Oh,
100%.
definitely, yeah.
Like I don't know how it is
PlayStation
on
app
Xbox,
is
but-
amazing.
but
Oh, it's the exact same on the
same?
PlayStation app and
Yeah.
Xbox app.
Yeah,
Exactly
but
the
like
same.
100% designed to play on systems like that.
Yeah.
You know, like so fucking good.
It's fantastic. And in case you're all wondering why I'm cradling this coffee, it's my first coffee of the day.
So he loves it.
Yes.
It tastes so
We're recording Saturday morning, so this is my first coffee today. So
I've already had two.
He's already. Yeah,
No, I've only had one, but I'm gonna grab another one as soon as we're
I
done.
will probably have one at some point in the next.
Go get a good one from
Yeah.
across the street.
So this randomly just came up as I was like, hey, I have to make sure that we check every website before we officially go live. And I had a deadline because the last few stories we did linked from comic book all went to here. So I'm like,
Deadline?
I'm gonna add it.
Deadline is reputable.
Yeah. So True Lies is getting a reboot. I guess they've been trying to do it since last year. It's got McGee, Mark Guggenheim, and James Cameron all producing it. It looks to be a reboot of the TV series. It looks like it's going to, I believe, Fox.
Fox TV.
Fox.
So we expect like 4
enjoy
episodes.
the one season of it while you got it, and then it'll be gone by next year.
Yeah, expect 6 to 8 episodes, and hope you liked it.
These reboots of movies / TV shows, they're very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon, fantastic. Hawaii 5-0 when it started, great.
Really good.
21, fantastic.
21.
Jump Street.
Okay, as a movie. Okay.
Yeah, as a movie, yeah. Baywatch, not that good.
But they did Baywatch. Like, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I want to because it looks fucking hilarious. But they did it like, it seemed like they did it more as like a spoof. Like,
Yeah,
it is a
it
joke.
wasn't like,
it's not meant to be. I don't think they go in with the intention of we're going to make 4 of these.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're fucking dumb.
Whereas like Jump Street and Hawaii and they like, it's not a parody, but it gets its source material.
And yeah. Like Hawaii is still good as a reboot of the source material.
Yeah.
It just becomes extremely repetitive of like cop procedural show.
Oh, yeah.
that is
Well,
just,
it is
it
a
falls into its
procedural.
own trap like that.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped watching it. It was
Yeah.
just like I was tired of them fighting the fucking triad every week.
Whereas like the first season of Lethal Weapon is great. I loved
I haven't
it.
finished it.
Oh, it's
Probably
so good.
won't.
What was the other one they did? Rush Hour.
Never. I wanted to watch it, never could find it.
And it got canceled before it even finished airing.
Yeah, it got canceled before I think the pilot aired.
Yeah.
Like, could never find it.
They aired it at the word. And again, that came down to timing, blah blah blah. But yeah, from what I heard, it was not great.
It wasn't good, but
Yeah.
still, like I wanted to check it out. I've never seen True Lies though.
It's a good film.
movie.
It's a good movie. I like it. Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold. Great movie. We should pull that out of the vault.
Pull it out of the vault.
Pull it out of the vault. And like the power behind it, you got Mick G, Guggenheim, and James Cameron producing it.
Yeah.
His company. That's a lot of big name people.
Yeah, that is for stuff. Mick G does a lot of television.
He produces
too.
everything. Like he did Chuck.
Yeah, he does a lot of TV stuff. Too.
Like he's done Chuck. He's Supernatural. Like he does fucking everything.
Mm-hmm. He did what movies? He's done a lot of movies too. He did the one you were talking about, Salvation.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't even have that. We should. I'm just gonna bring that up now. So that's it on the True Lies stories. But I don't know. I'll check it out. I like the movie. I like watching random things to see if they're good. It was reported that James Cameron, because of the rights issue with Terminator, is actually going to get it back because whoever has it now, I think it's some random company if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not familiar.
They do not have enough time to get a movie started, blah blah blah, production before the rights expire. So they
in
will
2019.
they will go back to James Cameron, and he's already announced a director / collaborator in the movie, and it's Miller, who did Deadpool 1.
Yeah, Deadpool 1. Tim Miller.
Yeah, Tim Miller. I can't remember if it was T.J. Miller or Tim, and that T.J. Miller's the guy who acted in the movie.
He was in it, yeah.
He's going to hone it as well as direct it, and it's going to ignore Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis, which I'm totally okay
So it'll
with.
be like fucking Halloween, where it's just one of these prequel, sequel things where it just jumps after Judgment Day.
Basically.
I just
at
don't
this
see
point,
it work.
Terminator's really old, and people are trying to tired of trying to get it work. It's not relevant, and like you cannot top Terminator 2.
You can't top it story-wise and stuff, but I'm also just like, it's not relevant because we're just smarter as a civilization than we were in the 80s.
These movies have to be very smart, and they're not.
And they're not. And then
Genesis was close.
Genesis was so
but
close.
They fucked
but
up
they fucked it up
they
with the
fucked
bad
it up.
choices that they made. Bad casting and bad choices.
Yeah.
And
Salvation was a shit show.
Salvation was garbage.
And Rise of the Machines could have been good.
Rise of the Machine, I find, like, I suffer from Rise of the Machine is like, could have been good.
I think they just tried too hard.
And I got the idea of
what they were trying to do.
Going further down the line, like now that he's an adult and all this stuff like that. But it was just, again, it was like the last two. It was just hit and miss. Like parts was good, parts were bad. Like
casting again, like that guy's all right, but I'm not really a particularly big fan of how he played John Connor.
Yeah.
And then like Bale sucked as John Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we should just do a topic one day, I think, just on why Terminator sequels don't work.
I had that on the list.
Yeah,
Terminator.
we'll do that because I could go on about why these fucking things don't work.
That's on my list.
Yeah. Like, even Terminator 1 isn't that great of a film, but it's still fantastic. It's dated as all fuck, though.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That Terminator on the stick. T2, man. That shit's fantastic. I think that was it for random news, so we'll kind of jump into our kind of big things. You want to start with this?
Yeah.
So, as we reported last week, the dude got the boot from
Star Wars
Episode 9. Earlier in the week, they announced that J.J. Abrams is now coming back to take over. They're going to rewrite parts of it as well as him direct it, which, all right, cool.
Yeah. I saw mixed acceptance on
mixed
whether he should do it or not because people were like, yeah, he did really good with Episode 7.
Yeah.
And he did very good with Star Trek, the first one, when he redid that. But his sequel to Star Trek, not that good.
But he didn't do it.
He did
Did he do the sequel?
He did the sequel. No, he did the sequel. Meaning he did the reboot of Wrath of Khan. Right? Yeah. Not that good.
Here's the thing. That movie's good.
Not as good as the first one, though.
Oh, definitely not. That movie's good. It just suffers from the fact that they tried to lie and say it wasn't Khan.
Well, I could give two fucks about that.
I think that's the problem with that movie.
The problem, the other thing is, like, they're saying that, like, he can, it's almost like he could start it. He's not your finisher. He's not your closer.
No, he's your starter.
Yeah. So it was, a lot of mixed reviews were saying, like, he's not the closer.
Your closer's Whedon.
Yeah, like, your closer should be someone else because he's probably not going to be able to close the trilogy out on a high note. He will... Yeah.
Yeah, just think of everything he's done, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Alias.
Mm-hmm.
He did Lost, right?
He did Lost. He
Lost,
did MI3,
MI3.
which was really good.
Yeah, that is.
That one's good.
So like he does good work.
He does good one-offs though when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
His sequels, not that.
I'm in the
not
camp
that
where
good.
I'm like, okay, fine, bring him
yeah,
in. We'll see how
I
he
mean,
does.
I don't really care either way. Like,
Yeah.
I could two fucks about it, but it was just I saw a split as to
I did
whether
too,
he should
reading
be
various-
doing it or should not be doing it.
Yeah. And I'm like, really, at this point, most of episode 9 was already done. Like,
Yeah, you would
written wise,
think.
he might tweak a few things. Disney's really particular about
Disney
what
doesn't
they
let
do.
you tweak too much.
Yeah, so, and like,
That's why these guys keep getting
the
the boot.
Star Wars movies at this point were set on how they wanted to do them, the story that they want to do. So I can't see him being allowed to change too much.
Yeah.
Even though he is Abrams.
Yeah. So he'll
But
have to do the movie
with
that they
being
want him
said,
to make.
there was one of these movies that's coming out also has the same problem that I'm about to say, but I can't remember which one it is. Star Wars now moves to December, where it comes out 1 week after Wonder Woman does, and then Aladdin moves into the spot that
Star Wars.
Star Wars was supposed to be in May.
Yeah.
And there's another movie that comes out. I can't remember what the hell it was, but it's earlier in the year. I think it might be Wick. That comes out. It's sandwiched in between big releases, and it's pretty much like fucked.
Yeah.
And the same thing for like these. It's like they're not fucked, but they just kind of screw themselves out of money.
Yeah, like I imagine Wonder Woman will probably be moved.
They'll probably move.
And just be
yeah.
smart. Move it up to November or something. Move it like a couple weeks ahead of, like, I don't know. Does it go Wonder Woman and then Star Wars? I think it does.
Yeah, Wonder Woman and then Star Wars.
So like,
Yeah, because it comes out on the 13th, and then
it doesn't list the fucking date for
I
Star
thought
Wars.
it did.
I think it's the 20-something. Like it's closer to Christmas.
Yeah, it comes out the week after.
Yeah.
Whereas Aladdin, and then
So
Aladdin
like
moves to the May
I'd imagine like you
24th.
move Wonder Woman, like you can move it up like 3 weeks. Move it to the end of November.
I would. If I was a studio, I wouldn't even care at this point if you
Yeah.
were fighting with the studio. I would move it. You can't
It
have
just
that.
gives yourself more time. I mean, especially when you saw the legs that Wonder Woman had in the first one. It was
Yeah.
number one for like fucking 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So give her that 6 week span before
Yeah.
Star Wars comes out, because Star Wars will obviously take it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is John Wick. It will
Oh, it's sandwiched between Avengers and Aladdin.
yeah. Because it comes out 2 weeks prior to Avengers, and then Thing comes out, and it's like that might not be good for you.
Oh yeah, it will only be first of all, I don't know if it will make number one.
It will. The first one did.
Okay,
Or the,
so-
the first one and second one both were number one.
Okay, so this will take number one for 2 weeks, and then Avengers will cut it.
And then Aladdin will come in and take over. And it's like,
Yeah.
why would you not want a space? Look at Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman came out at a perfect time. It had enough space to breathe.
Yeah.
It was crazy how much it had. I'm not worried about Star Wars though.
I'm not
Much
worried
like
about
am
it.
some
I
of
just
these other films. that
yeah,
have
like I'm
dropped
not worried about
directors and
Star
stuff.
Wars. I'm not even worried about Wonder Woman 2. Like that thing's going to do well too.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine.
I just dates will be shift, and I imagine
Yeah.
Wonder Woman will be moved ahead a few
It's-
weeks. Just
money wise, it's really
like a few
stupid.
weeks won't negate like fucking months of production
It was
for
like
it to
earlier
be
in
to,
this,
for it to
earlier
jump 2 weeks
in this year
you know?
in the summer.
Yeah.
All those movies just flip flopped weeks.
Yeah.
And like no one gained momentum. Yeah, they got money, but it was spread out longer had they have not just been done that. They need to.
It comes back to the whole there's so much. You know, there's only
Yeah.
so many Fridays in a month. There's only so many
Yeah.
weekend Fridays in
But
a
they always
summer.
try to cram them into like these big, like that was Memorial Weekend. Those things.
Yeah.
This is like Christmas, and it's like,
Yeah.
you guys know you can just put a movie out whenever, and people will go see it, right? Like you're still gonna get your returns on it.
Yeah,
I
but
get you want the big tent pole like release dates, but like if your movie is gonna stand, let it like that's episode 9. That's the closing to Star Wars. People are gonna go see it.
you could push that son of a bitch to like 2020.
Yeah, like you're fine.
Yeah, you
Don't
could
worry about it.
Drop it in like March 2020.
Yeah.
Add 4 more months.
Look at
it
how much
doesn't
the
fucking
first
matter.
one did, and it's been years since the prequels and the original film, and people
Yeah.
hate the prequels. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then we have
This year is a thing. No, this year's nothing. This year's something. in December. There's no Star Wars this year. No, Star Wars 8
Yeah.
is this year
Yeah.
in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like those December dates. I have a feeling that's why they moved this one to.
Well, because they had switched them to the May dates. That's why, like, Solo was supposed to be. No, you know what? I don't remember. I think episode 8 is May of next year.
I thought it was December.
No, I think they switched them to the May dates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And then this, because the last one came out in. Was it
Yeah,
May?
the first two, like, so I'm gonna go like the first two, meaning Star Wars 7
And Rogue One.
and Rogue One came out in December.
Yeah, and then they moved this one to May, Han Solo and thing to May. I thought 8 came out in December.
No, I think it.
We've had this conversation, but I can't remember what the thing was.
Maybe. It comes out.
Because I thought one was December, one was May, one was December, one was May. That's how they were keeping them spaced apart.
Oh, December 15th, 2017. So it is this December.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because all the toys went out, right? They're gearing up for their big releases and shit. And then the thing comes out in May. Maybe. They haven't announced the delay for that, which I find kind of weird. You lose your director and shit, and there's not a huge drop and stuff.
Oh, so fuck. So, like, we're going to have. In December, we're going to get episode 8.
Yep.
And then in May 2018 is when Solo comes out.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a year from that was episode 9.
Yeah.
May 2019. But they
then-
moved it back to December 2019.
And they still have one left of the untitled whatever the hell they're
Whatever the fuck they're doing, which I imagine would come out early 19.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine they want to close with 9. So they want to get the 3 in before 9 comes out in December.
Yeah. Which I believe at this point might be the Obi-Wan movie.
Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, fucking this, fucking
Well, because
that,
the last thing
whatever.
we heard it was
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan now. Because it was originally supposed to be that, but then they dropped it. So then we'll move on to Apple. They announced a bunch of new shit this week. So they announced the new phone.
Yeah, they announced
the
iPhone 8.
and the 10, as well as the next series of watches, and then TV, and then a charging mat.
Yeah,
And
because these ones don't have to be charged,
Yeah,
right?
like it can be charged wirelessly, which is just like, really though, wirelessly? It's not. Yeah, it is wirelessly, but you still have to keep it on the fucking mat. So what the hell is the point? I hate shit. I hate like that was the big thing with like the Samsung phones, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, it's wireless," blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's still on a mat. Like you're
fixed to staying.
yeah,
there.
you can't take it with you.
Yeah. And is that mat plugged into something? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, the mat's plugged into something.
And then the phone just sits on the mat.
Yeah, so you're still like
that's
it's
stupid.
actually less convenient.
Yeah.
I have a 10-foot cord. I'm fine. I don't give a fuck about a mat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really get the.
They brought back the 64 gig model, which I like.
So
though.
I have
That's what I was
I
gonna
have
say.
here. This is the specs for the 8 and the 8 Plus. So the 8 Plus starts at $700 with the 64 model, and then it will go to at the 2 something.
It's the 250, I think, is the next one. The
Yeah.
256. So like, and that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
But like, so I had the iPhone 6,
Yeah.
64 gigs, perfect phone.
Yeah.
Fucked me over. First phone that ever broke
Yeah.
was that one.
Yep.
Fucked me over. Had to wait some time. Ended up getting the 7 Plus. Go to get it. They don't have a 64. They have a 32, and then they got the 120.
Yeah.
They did that purposely because I had to buy the 120 because I knew from the 64 math that a 32 gig wouldn't have worked.
No, because it takes the 12.
It takes up so much fucking space
Yeah.
that it wouldn't have worked. So I had to get the fucking the 125 or 120, I think it is.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'm at the 120. I have like 80 gigs of free fucking space.
It's not like I think the way they did the 8 and the 8 Plus, they kind of nerfed it because they put the 10, which is like way more spec than this one.
Yeah.
Because it like this is
The
barely
10
they're barely like this is barely an upgrade.
Yeah, the
as
8
far as
isn't much different than the 7.
Yeah.
When you look at the 10 is the 10 got the bigger screen.
Yeah.
The 10 got the rotated cameras. I don't know if you've noticed that, but on the back
Yeah.
they're the other way. And I think they got I don't know if both have facial or only
They
the
don't.
10.
Only the 10 does.
So what was the point of the 8?
It's for people who can't afford the fucking 10. Because they start at
They start at $1,000.
This and then
But if you can afford $700 on a phone,
Yeah.
you can afford an extra $200 and get the fucking 10. Right? Like what's
Yeah, 'cause
if I'm already chunking out 800 fucking bucks, I'm sure I can find $200 somewhere and get the fucking 10.
yeah, because the Plus starts at 800 for the 64.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like it's got the 4-point-inch screen for the regular one and the 5.5 for the Plus. It's got True Tone adaptive coloring, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know who cares about this? Absolutely no one. They care about the number.
Like
The next number. Your average consumer does not give a fuck about any of these stats.
No.
They're just like, oh, the 8's out, I need it.
yeah.
And I'm like, do you though? Do you really?
Probably will. No, I won't get the 8. I
Like,
just got the 7 this
I
year.
have what?
It pissed me off that
I
my
have
phone
the-
broke
I
last
have
year
the
though because
5. The
it pissed
iPhone
me off because
5.
I had my phone on the schedule on the release when the schedules came out.
Yeah.
So I had the 4.
Yeah.
I got it in October. 2 years later, I got the 5. I got it in October when my contract was done.
Yeah.
2 years later, I got the 6. But then I kept the 6 a little longer, and that was my fucking problem. I kept the 6 because like I'll just stay with the 6
Yeah.
or the 6 Plus, and I kept it longer. It crapped out, and then that fucked over my release schedule because now I'm not in line with the fucking phone schedule.
Yeah.
So
I'm so far fucked from schedules because I switch people.
Yeah.
Like my phone couldn't go to it at first because I had I'm using a fucking Samsung right now. I'm just trying to pull out the specs for the new iPhone 10. So it comes out a little later.
it comes out in October
Yeah, it's
or November.
Yeah, no,
November.
Yeah, its pre-order date is October 27th, and then it comes out. It's got the 5.8 Super Retina display, a bunch of shit. The wireless, yeah, and the 10 only has the wireless charging. The dual optical cameras, and then facial ID that allows you to scan. It's got the 64.
It got rid of the
and
black bars
Yeah.
on the phone. Like, it has the full screen effect, which
The rear camera is 12 megapixels, while the front is 7.
that's the same as here. I saw that
Yeah,
somewhere.
and then the it just has different
Yeah.
stuff, and then the 64, and then it goes to 256, basically.
And then they
So,
released iOS 11.
yeah, and then but the funny thing is, I've been reading about this, and most Samsung phones already do all of this shit that both
A lot
of these
of
phones do.
people critique that when they announced
Yeah.
all this stuff, like the facial recognition and stuff. And they're like, "Oh yeah, Samsung's been doing that for a couple of years."
Like I've
But the
read
problem-
a little snarky of shit about
Yeah.
it, and then I've read actual tech sites like
Yeah.
Samsung's already do all this.
Yeah,
shit.
they do.
The only
A lot of
difference
them do.
is the iOS is better on Apple than it is on Android.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like they do it, but apparently, like not all of it works well.
Yeah.
not all of it. Like that's why you saw all those things about like with the facial recognition. You're getting all those fucking memes about like if a person's wearing makeup, it doesn't work
Yeah.
and all this shit like that, right? And that's because apparently with Android, it doesn't. That happens. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. But my thing is like, I don't know if I'm guessing on Apple it won't do that.
Yeah, we'll have to see
We'll
what
see
it does.
if it works. But I think that's the idea. Is like, yeah, you guys might have had it first,
yeah,
but we'll do it right.
yeah.
And it won't fucking
Exactly.
It will work with if you have makeup on.
I'm on both camps because right now I am using a Samsung, and I like that you can customize it more than you can the iPhone.
Yeah.
I like that it's easier to use than the iPhone in terms of moving stuff and putting shit on it.
Yeah, you don't need iTunes, and I know
Yeah.
you're
I
in love
fucking hate iTunes.
for iTunes.
That being said, I want the Google phone, the Pixel.
The Pixel.
The Pixel is the best of both.
Both, yeah.
The unfortunate thing is you have to pay for the phone outright, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's
It
like
is-
buying
It's the
a
price
fuck-
of the.
yeah, it has
it's
the same
X.
price of the X
Yeah.
and the 7 Plus when it because it came out the same time the 7 Plus came
Yeah.
out, so it had the same price specs of
And that
those
phone
phones.
trounces all of these.
Yeah.
In terms of like stuff, and that's.
I was
my
looking
hang-up.
at that
Yeah.
actually.
That's
when my 6 broke and I wanted to get the new phone. I was looking at the Pixel, But I just was like, I can't bring myself to use Android. I just
Yeah,
can't.
no, I get. Yeah, because it uses all of Android's.
It runs off an Android, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I can't.
with the hybrid operating system on it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I really want it. I like it so much better. It's fucking amazing. It's just the outright cost of buying this son of a bitch is a pain in the ass. Like dropping phones now, it just goes on your bill or whatever, and you pay it incrementally, or you pay for like part of it and then pay the incremental amounts after. Paying outright for that is like it's fucking
like
insane.
$1,200.
Yeah, like we buy expensive ass shit, but that shit that I don't have to worry about it being with me and breaking. Like, yeah, the console's $600, but that console sits there.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm going to like drop out of my pocket and like be fucked with. I have the Vita and the 3DS. Those things are built to fall. Like, but carrying around an almost $1,200 phone just fucking terrifies me. Like, granted, I've scratched my screen, but I've never broken any giant piece of technology.
Yeah.
But like you see fucking people just launch their fucking phones and that's the end of it. I'm terrified that might happen. And that's like, and plus that's a big thing to drop like incremental amounts on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you buy the console once, that's it. You're done.
And then every game
every week. But yeah, but then just buying a $1,200 phone, you're just like, what the fuck do I save up for $1,200? Like getting to 6 is one thing, getting to 12 is a whole nother number. But yeah, so that was cool. Samsung was supposed to drop some of their stuff, but I guess they didn't end up doing it. Because they probably could have trounced the iPhone, and it would have been a big argument.
I don't like this. See where it says able to shoot 4K 60 frames per second?
Yeah.
I've used the camera a few times, and I don't like 60 frames per second. It makes me sick.
Because you're not used to seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Most things are
30.
At 30
and
frames
the
per second.
fucking phone does it. It frames it at 60.
Plus,
it records
live
it at 60.
action stuff in 30 frames per second
Or
or 60 frames per second
nauseous.
looks weird as fuck.
Yeah.
I watched
I've watched
Hobbit.
Yeah,
in 60
I've seen
frames
that.
per second.
There's like they have a comparison of I want to say the warehouse Batman fight scene.
Okay, yeah.
In 60 frames.
Yeah.
I could watch about 20 seconds of it. I had to shut it off. I was getting sick.
Whereas games in 60 frames per second look awesome.
But it works in that medium, I think. Whereas
live
like
action,
in a
it
movie,
doesn't-
like it fucking
doesn't,
makes you look sick, and I don't like that the phone does that. It makes me uncomfortable when I'm watching it again.
Yeah.
You don't notice it when you're recording it. You kind of do, but then when you go back and watch the video, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't like it. Actually, now that I just read that, I remembered the other day I wanted to look up if there was a way to shut it off, but I don't think there is.
Also, I'm wrong. The 8 and the 8 Plus do have wireless charging. I could have swore they didn't when they first announced it, though. Maybe they cleared it up.
Maybe.
I don't know. Also, they're sealed for water and dust resistant now, which like Samsung did that like 3 phones ago. Not even trying to be all like, ooh, but really like 25% more powerful for this, 50% this. The camera's 85% more powerful and has more light. It's like you could tell they definitely nerfed it to do the 10. And I've been seeing a few people that are actually really niffed about that because, like, yeah, normally when they do upgrade the phone, it is a lot better. This is not that big of an incremental upgrade at all. This is more like the
7S or whatever, like the 7S that they normally put out. Yeah.
I was like, when I read the specs, I was kind of like, really? Oh, okay. It's a little faster. And then they announced something that's like Snapchat. And I'm like, why? We have Instagram that has random shit and Snapchat. Do we really need another one exclusive to Apple? Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. I just don't care. So that's kind of our iPhone thing. And then we had...
then there was one.
I'll lead into that, and then I'll go into Nintendo. I lost where the back one was. There it is. Still trying to get used to all this shit. So, earlier in the week, the dumbass known as PewDiePie, who I don't really watch on a regular basis, but I know of him because...
I've only heard of him 100% this year.
Yeah. Because
Never heard of this motherfucker before.
Yeah, because of all the shit that he does that annoys the crap out of people because he's an idiot.
His first thing was I'm going to do my last video.
Yeah, and
at the
then
start of the year.
the other thing with the Nazis and the Jew stuff, and then now this. And he is one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. He is the big YouTuber on the planet with like massive amounts of subscribers. He at one point was the reason Disney had, I think, Maker Studio, and then they fired him because of all this shit. He's the reason, I believe, for the apocalypse going on YouTube. With like people are like, we don't want our content associated with this. Like, obviously there's other factors, but yeah. So earlier in the week, PewDiePie was streaming PUBG. Which is Players Unknown's Battlegrounds. Really stupid name for a title, but actually kind of an intriguing game. So he was playing it. He was shooting some guy, and the guy got away. There's a clip. You can see it online. And basically he was like, oh, you dumb N-word, blah, blah, blah. In the clip, you see him say it, and then he's like, kind of realize what he says, and then he's like, oh, I don't mean it in a bad way. And then that's where you see the clip kind of end because someone just clipped it off.
Yeah.
And then, like, every big place picked it up because naturally it's the biggest YouTuber on the planet saying the N-word. And then there's huge fallout from that. Campo Santo, who does Firewatch amongst other games, basically it was like, we're done with letting him profit off of our game. Like, we know he's like helped us get people to play this game when he streams it or tapes it. He's like, but we're done with this kid. Like, he constantly does inappropriate, racist shit. Whether or not you believe he's racist or not is up to your own interpretation. But he's like, we're done. He's like, we're gonna file DMC takedowns on the videos that we have of him doing stuff, and that's it.
What's a DMCA?
It's the Digital Management Copyright Act, which is basically like, if you steal shit and put it on YouTube, they can make a claim against it saying it's not your content. Like, if you upload a movie or shit like that, it's basically what happens. Our video had it with that one video we put up.
What you're saying is, like, Firewatch lets him record and do it because they would get numbers from it. But now they're going to not let him do it anymore.
Yeah, basically.
But it was always illegal, but they just let him do it the first time type of thing.
It's illegal / falls under fair use thing because it technically does, because it's your content, but you're adding it to it and changing it. It's like fair use and this act are very wishy-washy. We actually got hit with the thing, not a takedown, but with a copyright strike. We weren't necessarily in trouble, but it's that one video we put up with the song and the trailers. We got hit by it. So we just took it down because it wasn't worth the headache of trying to do. Nintendo is very anti fucking Let's Play because they'll claim it and then everyone splits the revenue because Nintendo doesn't like Let's Players. But anytime we put up a Let's Play, it technically could be taken down based off DMC takedowns. And if you get, I think, 3 of these, your channel's automatically deleted.
Oh, wow.
And then each time, like, leading up to that, like, you can't go live. You can only post certain videos. You cannot, like, right now we can put up infinite length. I think if you get hit with your first one, you're limited to 15 minutes. And then after that, you can't go live. You can't, there's a whole shit ton of rules to how you put shit up. So luckily, we're not big enough. No one notices what the hell we do. But we're not outright stealing content. It's the reason why our commentaries are
just our vocals
with the picture up. Because if we put the movie up with our vocals, 100% will be taken down.
Yeah, I knew that.
Let's Plays are beneficial to both the creator and the player,
YouTuber,
because it allows the game to get out there, as well as people put their us out there. We put up lots of Let's Plays, and either people watch them or they don't. But like a lot of games we see is because we see like Kind of Funny or Funhouse or shit like that playing them. Like, we've been vastly more interested in buying the 2K games because we've watched them play it on Funhouse. So like there is the like quid pro quo of it, but he was just like, we're done. and I understand where he's coming from.
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And a lot of people were like, "Why would you do this?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I get it. You don't want your game associated with that. I understand that. So then he put out his apology. He was like, yeah, it was really stupid. I should know better. I hate when people like just use that. And online is huge for that, right? You turn on, like, this is the reason I hate playing online. Is because of idiots like this who just decide that the N word is okay to throw out as a fucking, like, just instead of saying motherfucker, the guy uses the N word.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, myself included, who are like, in the heat of the moment, how is that your go-to word? Like, regardless of what you're doing, that is not my go-to word.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, like, if he uses that as his go-to word, he may use that in everyday life.
Speech, yeah.
And I'm like, I can't claim whether or not he is racist. I just think he's really stupid. He says and does stupid ass shit.
And so, like, that stream where he said it was live?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was live. He was playing PUBG. A shit ton of people saw it and clipped it. And then everywhere else picked it up, and they've been talking about it all week. And it falls under the of like, should creators, YouTubers, ourselves included, be more responsible of what they say, what they do, and how they put it out there? And I think they should, especially this guy. He is a massive influencer of trends and shit like that. And for him to come out and do something so stupid and just say something dumb that didn't necessarily need to be said, he needs to watch what he says and does. Because people see you and think that's okay. They're like, oh, like his fans, they're like, oh, PewDiePie says, okay, it's cool. I can say that. Why not? He says it. And it's like, no, that's not a cool thing to say to anybody. Like, you're an idiot. I don't know. That's just my piece on it. I think it's just a really dumb thing to say and do. And is he a racist? Probably not. Is he an idiot? 100%. Like, even watch his videos, you can tell he's an idiot. And we're idiots, but we're not going to sit here and throw out the N-word because some guy hit us the wrong way. Like, that's not... We were talking about this the other day. Like, my go-to thing is, like, motherfucker, and yours is just some random spew of words. That makes no sense. But, yeah, so that was PewDiePie this week. He did apologize for it, but at one point are like, how many apologies is one too many?
Yeah.
Like,
he's had 4 this year.
Yeah, like
he's had 4 major ones this year.
And of course,
like I said, I never heard of this motherfucker until this year. Couldn't give a
like,
fuck about this or anything he
I
says.
Don't
like
care.
I didn't even know about this story until you told me like yesterday or whatever. Thursday.
And like, had I
this shit isn't in my circle, so I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Had I not noticed it from my like the people I follow, I wouldn't have noticed it either. Like, I got it from Kind of Funny and Funhouse. If they hadn't talked about it, I'd have no fucking clue this was going on. Which is crazy considering this guy, like, it just goes to show there is still a disconnect between YouTube and the world. Because this guy brings in millions of views. He's 100 million subscribers subscribe to his channel.
Something like that, yeah.
But still, he's like under the radar of mainstream unless he does something stupid like this.
But even still, doing something stupid like this didn't put him mainstream. You just said you found it on Funhouse. And
well, afterwards, where they got it from was like the BBC.
Oh, okay.
And Time, like they did cover it. Yeah, I got it because I don't follow Time.
Yeah,
BBC. Yeah, he's stupid. Anyways, moving on to more fun stuff. Nintendo, they did one of their directs this week.
So can we talk about this, or were they hit us with a claim?
We're not showing any footage, so they can fuck the fuck right off. I don't even know how Hollywood would do Nintendo coverage, anyways. So the Switch. There was a bunch of stuff announced for it this week. Kind of some big stuff, too.
GTA 5 coming to the Switch. You heard it here first. TalkingBull exclusive.
When it comes, thank you for everyone who doesn't watch this and didn't figure it out. So, I could see it coming to the Switch. So, as we reported last week, LA Noire is coming to the Switch.
Yes.
Big technical game, kind of crazy. Well, during this thing, they announced that Doom and Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, the sequel to Wolfenstein New Order, whatever the hell it was, are coming to the Switch, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because if you have watched our Doom Let's Play, which you totally should watch me and Nick not be very good at Doom, that game...
Was that with the one with the guns and I kept it
run really fast and shit? Yeah.
Because they kept running out of ammo?
Yeah, like you had to kill those guys to get health
to
and
get
ammo.
Yeah, that one was fucking weird.
That game's... Yeah, that's Doom. It's going to the console. That's crazy. And then it's just kind of like... And then there was like the rumor that like GTA 5 could at one point actually get to the Switch, and also 2K18 WWE is going to the Switch, which again, game looks amazing.
I really want to play that. You were reading
Yeah,
the specs the other day
yeah.
about like the career modes.
Yeah,
Both of them are really cool. Both modes sound really
Yeah.
really awesome.
I definitely want to pick them up. Or
First,
pick
it would
them
be
up.
the first one I played. I'm not joking, or the first one I
15?
purchased. No, first one I've purchased since No Mercy.
Wow.
64. Never had one on the Sony's.
See, I
played them.
I played SmackDown versus.
I played SmackDown versus or SmackDown, whatever one it was, and I played. You have like 15 or 14 or something.
And I was 14. I couldn't play it. I
and
didn't know how.
and there was one probably in between there that
the
I
All-Stars
played.
game that
Yeah,
I
the
had,
All Star one, where I've played a few of them over the last, few years, but they just got very hard to fucking play.
Yeah, they're very technical now, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I wanted it to be like not that when I played Mercy it was button mashing, because there were combos and you could like grapple with this and hit this and do this and down A and all this, and it would do different moves.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like it wasn't as simple based with like grappling was 4 fucking buttons. It got to that you had to press for the fucking Sony, and it was like, well, that's fucking ridiculous. And then the pure physics of the game was bullshit too. Like, when you fall and bounce 10 feet, and then like it just looked like shit. The whole fucking arena and the screen would bounce with and move with you. Like, I hated that fucking stuff. Reading. I want to play Fire Emblem. Sure.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't even know how fucking Fire Emblem is.
No. How about No, I don't want to play fucking Skyrim. How about Dragon Quest?
No, you don't want to play that either.
Rocket
How about
League?
Rocket League? You want to play Rocket League?
Sure.
That's that one with the cars where you play soccer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Soccer in the cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that shit.
And like, yeah, all these games are like.
Arena of Valor.
This one has the stupidest title of all.
Project Octopath?
Octopi Traveler.
Octopath
Yeah.
Traveler.
Yeah. Well, they're calling it Pi. I don't know why.
Well, they're stupid because that's a PATH.
I'm aware of that, but that's just what they're calling it. They're weird. I don't know. The
How
only
about
game
Xenoblade?
No, I don't want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Trailer looks really nice though.
I'll play that fucking plumbing one at the top.
Oh, Super
Plumber Odyssey?
Yeah, Super Plumber. He's not a plumber.
Well, he is in my book. Dresses like one, he looks like one.
He has nipples now.
He has nipples?
Yeah.
Oh, they put the bat nipples on him?
No, that's just the big thing this week. They showed off like a water level, and he's just in his swim trunks with like no shirt, and he's got nipples, and it kind of broke the internet because that's all anyone could talk about. It's like Nintendo Mario having nipples.
There's so much fucking shit in the world, and that's what they talk about.
But at least it's like that's like just fun, stupid news. It's not like North Korea bombing everything.
But
so
he is a plumber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Super Plumber Odyssey comes out October 27th.
And with that,
you're getting that?
You
don't have a Switch.
No, but they announced a bundle with the Switch and this game, and it has both red Joy-Cons instead of the normal blue and whatever. But it will be a Mario bundle, which is kind of.
I was thinking about it today actually when I was out this morning, and I was thinking about. I heard something on the radio and it triggered. They were talking about 007 GoldenEye and 64, and then it got me thinking about the potential 64 mini, right?
Yeah.
And do you think GoldenEye's on it? Like in that game pack, if they were to come out, it'd have to be.
It's
like if it was like this is how pivotal it is. If they released the game list with the 64 mini and 007 GoldenEye and let's say Mario World with the one with the paintings or whatever, let's say those two aren't on that list, I'm not buying it. Hands down.
64 would definitely be on it.
64 would definitely be on it, obviously.
Thing is a little bit different because one, Rare is now owned by Microsoft, and then you have the GoldenEye license to figure out too, like James Bond license to figure out too. But if they can get that all to work, I don't see why not. Because Donkey Kong is on the Super NES Mini, which
But that's like a pivotal game for the 64 was GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Everybody and their fucking mother played fucking GoldenEye.
Yeah, it's done by Rare and owned by Rare now. So
Then you do whatever you got to do to put that game on there. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
that's
would
what
make
I'm
a
saying, because
fucking
Rare owns
that would be a fucking
Donkey
that would be a
Kong,
difference
too,
in me
but-
buying that.
yeah. Well, speaking of those, so a bunch of shit coming to the Switch. Those two games, a lot of third parties, which is good for Nintendo because that's why the last console failed because you couldn't get third party games on the damn thing. So now we have third party games on there, which is good. They announced that they are shipping many more Super Nintendo's minis when this thing does ship. So we'll have 5 on top of the 5 they're already sending out. So that's good news.
So they're sending out more NES
Super
minis.
NES minis, yeah. Because they're like, we heard you, we didn't make enough of the last one, blah blah blah. I'll fucking believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
And then later on in the year, they're going to re-release the NES Classic because they're like, we heard you, there wasn't enough, here we go. And it's like, why can't you just make that the first fucking time?
Just make what? There's 7 billion people in the world. Make 5 billion copies.
Like, really, how?
Because like
expensive can it
everyone
be to
wants
make
this
these
fucking
things? Yeah.
game, right? Just make like a few billion.
I don't know
of
why
them.
Nintendo is so aversive to make money.
Yeah.
You could make more money. Money is good. Shit, we already know they take money from Let's Players to buy their content, so why wouldn't you want more money? That's funny. But yeah, that's good for Nintendo. I like that Nintendo is actually coming up now. It's good for them. Because, like we've been saying for the longest time, like Nintendo it wasn't dying, but it was kind of dying. Like, I kind of almost wish they did go the Sega route and go third publisher. Because that would be cool. Because then you could just play all these fucking games on the PlayStation.
On the PlayStation.
Which would be so much better. And then they could have the Vita handheld, which would have lots of Nintendo games on it. But whatever. We're good to go. That is all for the news that I had.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Where we at?
101.
Wow. See, I knew that was going to happen. Like, I knew all of these stories. They were kind of big stories this week. And I knew that was kind of like our thing. You want to do topic or you want to save it?
It's up to you.
Like, we're already at thing. By the time we get into this topic and kind of get in the nitty gritty of it.
You want to save it?
Yeah, we might as well save it. We're already at 101. Like, we'll just ramble on for the next little bit.
Coolsies.
That's really never happened to us where
No.
we talked so much about stories that we've hit this massive point. But I was saying it earlier in the week that we may not get to the topic because, like, the Star
news
Wars
this
thing,
week's
the
the
PewDiePie
news
thing,
this
Nintendo,
week
and all
was
this
pretty
stuff
high.
was
Whereas
big
last
things.
week we were like fucking crawling for
Yeah.
news stories.
And the week before we just weren't paying attention. We went at fucking hour 40.
yeah, we went pretty
But-
long
I want to try to keep these down.
to like 120ish.
yeah.
$1.20, $1.20.
Yeah. On the plus
120.
side, though, like, this is the only thing I have to really edit this week.
Yeah.
Because I finished our Let's Play for
You're ahead of
Wednesday,
time.
which I think you guys will really like because we liked playing it, even though we sucked at it. It was the afternoon collection of DuckTales.
Oh
and-
yeah. I tried playing all those fucking games.
Yeah.
And they weren't any good. There was
No.
none of them that I liked.
They were good. We just weren't good at
I
it.
didn't like any of them. It was horrible. It was a terrible experience for me.
So my favorite thing about these is like I'm watching these videos as we do it, and one, like, you never remember what game we're playing.
Never remember because I don't give a fuck.
And then, like, afterwards, you completely forgot what games we played.
Yeah, like when I went back, I was like, did I play this one yet?
Yeah, and it just dawned on me right now that you didn't remember what Doom was.
Nope.
Even
Yeah.
though we played it.
It's because I play it for 20 minutes and then I forget about it immediately after.
My goal is to, I think now, what I want to do, and I think we'll do it, I think next weekend.
Yeah, we
is
got a lot of time.
get
next
you
weekend.
to do some Xbox stuff.
We can play some Xbox.
So, because it's just
we
fun to
can be
watch.
traders.
Yeah, it's fun to watch you play things that you've never played. So watching you play Halo, which I know you're instantly going to dislike, is going to be great for me and the viewing audience that I keep telling to watch Nick just utterly not play games.
Not watch Nick get mad, because that's what's gonna fucking happen. Because I just get fucking livid.
It's really great.
I better be careful not to say anything.
Yeah, and we didn't even. I wish we would have taped you playing Injustice that one day with Wonder Woman.
Holy fuck! No. So Injustice, playing the Wonder Woman thing.
Yeah.
Was it for the costume or no? No, I don't think it was for the costume piece.
It was for the costume piece.
Was it the costume piece or was it just the ladder piece to get the boxes? I can't remember. But that motherfucker took me an hour and 15 minutes to beat the top tier guy. I forget who I was playing. I think Brainiac. I think it was to get her story. It might have been to get her video or something.
I thought it was the
Brainiac. But whatever. It took me an hour and a motherfucking half to finally beat this thing.
You kept throwing shit.
I fucking kept throwing this thing. Right? I got so mad I tossed this thing twice. I tossed it, knocked off all his fucking Funko Pop figures and like a couple things hanging off the wall. Like, do we have these Ninja Turtle figures hanging on the wall there? Knocked them all off, and then Anthony gets up. You start picking them up or whatever. Fucking 3 minutes later, I threw it again. Because when I threw it, it hit the wall and came back at me. So I had it a second time. So I fucking tossed it again. I knocked over the fan and some other figure. And he's like, stop hitting it. He got mad. He's like, fucking stop throwing it. And you're knocking over all my stuff. I was like, why's your fucking stuff everywhere?
My response in the most calm possible manner is, because I live here.
It's the living room. I was like, why's your fucking stuff everywhere? Oh, good times.
It's really great.
That would have been fun. That
Yeah.
would have been a good one to record.
Yeah.
It would have been, because I got so fucking mad.
Unfortunately, with the only Let's Play we have is where we're both just calm and chilled and doing it. But, yeah, and I was
I
thinking...
get mad a lot during hockey, too.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about it the other day when I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and I was just getting mad to the point where I was, like, cursing and just had to stop myself from whipping the controller.
Oh,
into
yeah,
the
like,
TV.
I fucking have sat here and just, like...
And it's like when we
fucking
do
controller,
when
and
we
I'm
do
like,
Let's Plays, we seem to be no more reserved about what we're doing.
Maybe.
Because like any other time,
or like we don't get to that frustration point because we play for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
how
I
do
don't
you
know
play
that
something for a few hours?
those Marvel Let's Plays are like an hour and a half.
But that's an easy button mash game.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
true.
like, you know, like, if you're playing Injustice, let me play Injustice for 3 hours, and then you cut out that 10 minutes where I fucking get mad. You know what I mean? And post
I'm gonna
that.
keep that
But you're
in.
gonna have to. Yeah, well, that's. I mean, use that.
Yeah.
But I had to play for 3 hours to get to that fucking point.
Yeah.
Right. I play for the first 20 minutes, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I play for 3 hours, and then an hour and a half of that was just the one fucking guy. Like, yeah, that's when I get fucking mad.
That would have been a great Let's Play because it was so funny just watching. It was the Wonder Woman armor. Because
It was?
I remember like
I never beat it. I never got all the
There
pieces.
was 3 ladders, and the last person you had to fight was Cheetah. And it took me 20. It took me
You passed
20
me,
minutes
yeah.
to get there, and then it took me 2 fights to beat Cheetah. Whereas like I jumped you, and you started before me,
Yeah.
and I jumped you 3 towers and then beat it, and you're just like, I'm fucking done. I don't
Yeah.
care.
After that, I was like, I got like her boots and something else on
Yeah.
the one tier, maybe her lasso or
Yeah.
maybe her head thing.
Yeah, it was.
But I never got the full
It
outfit.
was very frustrating. It's the most frustrating time I've had with Injustice so far.
It was.
I really need to go back and play that.
I was thinking of playing it the other day, but I just didn't have time. But
There's so
I
much
wanted
stuff
to
to play.
there was yeah, I got really mad playing that game that
Yeah,
day.
I get it. There's so much stuff.
When the fuck did you get Donald Duck?
Oh, I bought that yesterday.
Okay, so that is new.
Yeah, that is new. I just like to buy things and put them in the house and see if he notices. It's actually really funny. That's the Kingdom Hearts Donald. They had it, and I was like,
Donald,
I don't
Goofy,
have any.
Sora.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't have any Kingdom Heart Funkos, so I was like, fuck it, I'll pick it up because there's already 37 up there. I might as well have a few more. I think there's only like 20 up there, but
20 even. Yep.
yeah, something like that. But I don't know. I like having them. They're just fun little things. I like them
I
all
just
in the
can't
box.
go down
'cause
that.
they're-
I can't
yeah.
go down that route.
My objective goal was to just get at least one from every franchise I like, minus Doctor Who, because I have the 4 Doctors up there.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with because Doctor Who's awesome. But Yeah, I just wanted to get one from each franchise that I liked. And the other day they announced Crash and Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
The Crash ones are cool, but I don't. There's some people who like get every fucking figure from that line, and I'm like, you don't need all of that, unless it's the 4 Turtles, which I did pick up like the 4 classic reinterpretations of the Turtles. But yeah, like you don't need every fucking variation of everything.
Oh no, like I see like a lot of DC ones, and there's like, even for like, if you just pinpoint it to, let's say, like the DC, like the movie,
Yeah.
there's like 15 different Ben Affleck ones.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you don't need all the. You just
don't-
need a
yeah.
Batman one. But I just can't fall down that route.
No, because once you go down that hole, like
I only have 2. They're upstairs, and that's it.
yeah, I don't blame you. I randomly got one the one day, and it was that Green Lantern one, and just fucking snowballed after that.
The
but-
25 other ones.
Yeah, but like they're up way out of the way. So, if we ever at some point actually get like a fucking room or like a fucking studio or something, they'll probably go in there and just on the shelf behind us, because I think that looks cool when you have all your shit behind us, and then it'll be fucking out of sight and out of mind. I won't see anything. But I think we rambled enough at the end of this. Thank you for joining this week's podcast. We will be back next week with all new news and probably a topic.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
See ya.